फ़क़ाल अलीयुन अलैहिस्सलाम लिअबी या रसूलल्लाह अख़बिरनी मा लिजलूसिना हाज़ा तहतल किस्साइ मिनल फ़ज़्लि इंदल्लाह। फ़क़ाल अन्नबिय्यु सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वआलिहि वसल्लम वल्लज़ी बअसनी बिल हक़्क़ि नबिय्यन वस्तफ़ानी बिर्रिसालति नजिय्यन मा ज़ुकिरा ख़बरुना हाज़ा फ़ी महफ़िलिन मिन महाफ़िलि अहलिल अर्ज़ व फ़ीहि जमुअन मिन शिय्यतिना व मुहिब्बीना इल्ला व नज़लत अलैहिमुर रहमा व हफ़्फ़त बिहिमुल मलाइका वस्तग़फ़रत लहुम इला अन यतफ़र्रक़ू। फ़क़ाल अलीयुन अलैहिस्सलाम इज़न वल्लाहि फ़ुज़ना व फ़ाज़ शिय्यतुना व रब्बिल कअबा। फ़क़ाल अबी रसूलुल्लाहि सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि वआलिहि वसल्लम या अली वल्लज़ी बअसनी बिल हक़्क़ि नबिय्यन वस्तफ़ानी बिर्रिसालति नजिय्यन मा ज़ुकिरा ख़बरुना हाज़ा फ़ी महफ़िलिन मिन महाफ़िलि अहलिल अर्ज़ व फ़ीहि जमुअन मिन शिय्यतिना व मुहिब्बीना व फ़ीहिम महमूमुन इल्ला व फ़र्रजल्लाहु हम्महु वला मग़मूमुन इल्ला व कशफ़ल्लाहु ग़म्महु वला तालिबु हाजतन इल्ला व क़ज़ल्लाहु हाजतहु। फ़क़ाल अलीयुन अलैहिस्सलाम इज़न वल्लाहि फ़ुज़ना व फ़ाज़ शिय्यतुना फ़ाज़ू व सुइदू फ़िद दुनिया वल आख़िरति व रब्बिल कअबा। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्लि अला मुहम्मद व आलि
बावाज़ बुलंद तर सलावत। अब मैं गुजारिश करूँगा जनाब शबीर नकवी साहब से कि वो मिंबर पर तशरीफ़ लाएँ और मोमिनीन को ज़िक्र मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सुनाएँ बावाज़ बुलंद तर सलावत।
सलात पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद। करम मांगता हूँ अता मांगता हूँ इलाही मैं तुझसे दुआ मांगता हूँ करम मांगता हूँ अता मांगता हूँ इलाही मैं तुझसे दुआ मांगता हूँ अता कर तू शाने करीमी का सदका अता कर तू शाने रहीमी का सदका न मांगूंगा तुझसे तो मांगूंगा कैसे तेरा हूँ मैं तुझसे दुआ मांगता हूँ करम मांगता हूँ अता मांगता हूँ इलाही मैं तुझसे दुआ मांगता हूँ जो मुफलिस है उनको तू दौलत अता कर जो बीमार है उनको सेहत अता कर जो मुफलिस है उनको तू दौलत अता कर जो बीमार है उनको सेहत अता कर मरीजों की खातिर शिफा मांगता हूँ इलाही मैं तुझसे दुआ मांगता हूँ, करम मांगता हूँ, अता मांगता हूँ। इलाही मैं तुझसे दुआ मांगता हूँ। सल्लल्लाहु पर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद।
बावाज़ बुलंद तर सलावत। अब मैं इल्तमास करता हूँ जनाब जाकर सैयद बब्बरबाज जाफरी से कि वो मिंबर पे तशरीफ़ लाएँ और मोमिनीन को ज़िक्र मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सुनाएँ बावाज़ बुलंद तर सलावत।
दुरूद बर मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद सल्ले अला मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद। बराए खुशनूदी मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद बुलंदतर सलावत। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ले अला अली मोहम्मद। बराए ताजील ज़हूर इमाम ज़माना बुलंदतर सलावत। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ले अला मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद। किबला इजाज़त है शुरू करें। मौला हुसैन अलैहिस्सलाम की शान में मनकबत के चंद अशार। जितने आमादा हैं उतनी बुलंद आवाज़ से दुरूद पढ़े मोहम्मद वाले मोहम्मद की ज़ात पर। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ले अला मोहम्मद वाले हाँ, नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा हुसैन एक ही है। बहुत शुक्रिया आप जी। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा सोहेल भाई हुसैन एक ही है। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा हुसैन एक ही है। अब कलाम मैं आपको पहले भी सुना चुका हूँ लेकिन मौला का जिक्र पुराना नहीं होता कभी। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा हुसैन एक ही है। और खुदा का खुद भी है कहना हुसैन एक ही है। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा हुसैन एक ही है। और नबी से मेहदी तलक नबी से मेहदी तलक सब के सब मोहम्मद हैं। नबी से मेहदी तलक सब के सब मोहम्मद हैं। अरे नबी के घर में भी ढूंढा हुसैन एक ही है। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा हुसैन एक ही है। और पुकारा रब्बे उला पुकारा रब्बे उला मैं कदीर हूँ लेकिन पुकारा रब्बे उला मैं कदीर हूँ लेकिन अरे नहीं नहीं बनेगा दोबारा हुसैन एक ही है। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। तवज्जो है ना? अरे अली का सजदा ये, अली का सजदा ये कहता है शह के सजदे से। अरे अली का सजदा, अली का सजदा ये कहता, अली का सजदा ये कहता है शह के सजदे से। अरे कसम है फुज तो बेकाबा, हुसैन एक ही है। यार नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। आमादा है शेर पेश करूं? सिर्फ पाजी और जफर चाचू ने बिस्मिल्लाह बोला है, सब आमादा है ना? नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। अरे कसम अली की, कसम अली की, अली है अली के सब बेटे। कसम अली की, अली है अली के सब बेटे। अली के बेटों में मौला हुसैन एक ही है। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। अली के बेटों में मौला हुसैन एक ही है। एक मरतबा दूर पड़ेगा मिलकर। अली के बेटों में मौला हुसैन एक ही है, कसम है फुस्तो बेकाबा, हुसैन एक ही है। शेर पेश कर रहा हूँ पाजी, शेर देखिएगा। अरे पुकारा शहदो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। पहला शेर क्या था? पुकारा रब्बे औला, मैं कदीर हूँ लेकिन नहीं बनेगा दोबारा, हुसैन एक ही है। अब शेर सुनिएगा। पुकारा शहदो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। पुकारा शहदो ला इलाहा इल्लल्लाह। अरे मेरा भी है ये अकीदा, हुसैन एक ही है। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। खुदा का खुद भी है कहना, खुदा का खुद भी है कहना, हुसैन एक ही है। नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। 2 से 3 शेर है तो फिर इंशाअल्लाह किबला को दावत कलाम देंगे। मौला अब्बास अलैहिस्सलाम की शान में, मौला हुसैन की शान में शेर सुनिएगा। अली के जैसा, अली के जैसा है गालिब गाजी नबी के जैसा हसन, अली के जैसा है गाजी नबी के जैसा हसन, मगर हुसैन के जैसा हुसैन कही है यार, नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। शेर पेश कर रहा हूँ, तमाम मवालियान हैदर करा की नज़र कर रहा हूँ। हुसैन एक ही है, और कसम अली की नुसैरी जो करबला है, कसम अली की नुसैरी जो करबला है, अरे उसे भी कहना पड़ेगा हुसैन एक ही है, नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा यार। जिंदाबाद मुर्दाबाद, अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद। हुसैन एक ही है। माशाल्लाह, special guest Molana is here, so I won't take much longer for the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may bestow upon him and upon Molana Asim Vilayati. Please recite one loud salawat. Muhammad नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। मक्ता पेश कर रहा हूँ, कलाम अल्लामा ज़िल्ले सकलैन साहब का इंतहाई खूबसूरत मक्ता पेश कर रहा हूँ। सोहेल भाई। हुसैन एक ही है, और मिला के खाक के, मिला के खाक के ज़र्रों में अपना खून सकलैन, मिला के खाक के ज़र्रों में अपना खून सकलैन, अरे शिफाएं बांटने वाला हुसैन एक ही है, नहीं है कोई भी ऐसा, हुसैन एक ही है। दुरूद बर मोहम्मद वाल मोहम्मद, सल्ले अला Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Now, without further ado, joining us for the first time here today in Imam Barga Dua Zara, I would like to invite our special guest speaker. We are honored that he took the time out of his day to come and join us, and we pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may bless him with the very best of his treasures. I would like to invite Molana Shaykh Mirza Abbas to please come to the mimbar and read Majlis in the honor of Prophet Muhammad and his holy family. Durood bar Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Please.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله أوله بلا أول كان قبله وآخره بلا آخر يكون بعده الذي قصرت عن رؤيته أبصار الناظرين وأجزت عن نعته أوهام الواصفين
ثم الصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا حبيبنا وطبيب نفوسنا أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين أبي القاسم محمد وعليه الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين ولعنة الدائم على أعدائهم وغاصب حقوقهم ومنكر فضائلهم ومناقبهم أجمعين من الآن إلى قيام يوم الدين. أما بعد، قال إمام الحسن العسكري عليه السلام: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم، ليست عبادة كثرة الصيام والصلاة وإنما العبادة كثرة التفكر في أمر الله. I'm honored. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, first and foremost. It's an honor to be here. Thank you very much for the invitation. It's especially on a special night of a Thursday night to visit momineen, because the Malaika visits momineen on Thursday night. Thursday night is the night, according to the narration that we have in Usul Kafi, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increases the levels and darajat and lights for our Ma'sumin alayhi salam. And peculiarly and particularly the Imam of our time, Hujjat ibn al-Hasan al-Askari alayhi salam. And through this increase of their darajat and their levels and their knowledge, the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam, their knowledge is also automatically increased. So how we will connect to our Imam is through these gatherings, is by our presence in these places. Show me one place which is the best of the best in Northampton tonight, other than this place. Show me the best of the best time in Northampton tonight, other than this time, where beautiful poetry of Imam Hussain, zikr of Hasan Askari alayhi salam, and salawat on Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala. So this moment is the best, the zaman is the best, the makan is the best, the company is the best of mu'mineen and mu'minat, the lovers of Ahlul Bayt alayhim salam, right? Miratul mu'min, as they say, mu'min is mirror of mu'min. We are mirror of each other. When I have that love of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, I see that love in you as well, and you see that love in me, right? So we are mirrors of each other. And we all love to see ourselves in the mirror, don't we? Right? One thing that we love to see is that our selfies and ourselves in the mirror. We will never get tired of it. So the same way, we will never get tired of seeing each other, because we are mirror of each other. We are mu'mineen. And tonight is also a very special night, as it's a Thursday night, it's a night of Marhumeen. Our presence here is the source of barakah and blessing for our Marhumeen, and especially our Shaheed here, Allama Nasir Abbas Sahab. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala increase his darajah and mashurim with the shuhada of Karbala, and all shuhada of Islam with the shuhada of Karbala, inshallah. And let's remember our marhumeen and recite a Surah Fatiha for all of them, especially the volunteers, the mu'mineen and mu'minat who are present here. Al-Fatiha. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin. Maliki yawmiddin. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ihdinas siratal mustaqim. Siratal ladhina ghayril maghdubi alayhim waladdallin. Bismillah. Allahu samad. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad. The topic that has been given to look at tonight in our discussion is the seerah of our 11th Imam. And it's a very important topic. Our 11th Imam, his life was 27 or 28 years, which is very young. And the period of his imamat was only 6 years, which is the shortest period of imamat compared to all of the imams. And he was in a very heavy surveillance, under a situation where he couldn't even go for Hajj. This is one of the imams who didn't even do Hajj because of the amount of restriction that the imam had. From the age of 2, he was in Samira. and Askar, Askar, there was a town which is basically, it was a barracks, military barracks were there, and it was particularly for the sake of having watch on the 11th Imam. And the reason for that we could find in history, there are three major events within the formative period of the Shia Islam. Right after the Prophet, Ghadir, obviously, which was the declaration of the Wilayat of Amirul Momineen. And this declaration was brushed under the carpet by the people who took charge. They did not want the Ahl Bayt to be recognized. And then right after that, you have the Shahadat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain, which reversed everything. The victory of Ghadir sits on the shoulder of the Shahadat of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. Otherwise, Ghadir would have been forgotten. The Nabuwat would have been forgotten. The Quran would have been forgotten. Everything would have been forgotten if it wasn't for the Shahadat of Abu Abdullah al-Hussain alayhi salam. So things started to change after that. And it started, and that's right after that you have the deterioration or the downfall of the Umayyads that started. Rebellions, revolutions started taking place, so on and so forth. Eventually, to the point they completely vanished and disappeared, in hell. So after that, you find the period of Imam Rida alayhi salam. So from Amirul Momineen, then you have Imam Hussain, and then Imam Rida alayhi salam. Why Imam Rida alayhi salam? Because by that time, the Tashayyu had spread quite in different countries, in different places. And the Khalifa was forced to call Imam Rida alayhi salam from Medina to Khurasan. Not only just call him, but even offer him the political seat as being the vicegerent. He forced him because he could clearly see that there was a lot of, pressure, from the side of the Shias, from the side of the followers of Ahl Bayt alayhi salam, because the 6th Imam and, the 5th Imam and the 6th Imam, they had made the companions, the ashab, the wukala, they started a system of network of wukala. The 6th Imam started a network of wukala. He started sending people in different fields, right? So that made the Shias all over the, Islamic world very strong, right? So by the time of the 8th Imam, it has reached to a point where the Khalifa was forced to offer a political, position for the Imam, where it was forced. Imam was forced. He said, okay, I will accept, but I'm not gonna involve with you, in any sort of politics. I will be free. This was also a very strong move of the 8th Imam, where he is free to speak whatever he wants. He could give sermons. That's why you find the establishment of that wilayat is where the 8th Imam says, wa ana min shurute. La ilaha illallah hisni. Faman dakhala hisni amana min azabi. La ilaha illallah is like a fort. Whoever enters this fort, they are safe from the azab. Then after that, what he says, and I am the condition of this fort. Right? So that much power that, the Imam had, outwardly gained in order to, spread that message of Ghadir. Right? That wilayat of Amirul Momineen sits on the acceptance of the wilayat of the 8th, because there are many who left at 6. That's why when we recite our ziyarat, many our youth, they ask, you say as Rasulullah, Abu Abdullah, and then you jump on the 8th. You miss other Imams. Why? Because if somebody who accepts the 8th, he will accept all 12, and he will accept all the before ones as well. So 8th is a very important, Imam. So by the 8th Imam, we find that things started to change. Shias were in great power. And as they were in great power, the 8th Imam also, transferred the knowledge to the extent where the Shias said, okay, Imamat is really a divine office. It's not by people. Even if there be a 6th-year Imam after the 8th Imam, we'll accept. the intellectual understanding of the Shias and the Imani strength of the Shias had reached to a point where they would accept the wilayat and imamat in this fashion. That yes, imamat, even a 6-year-old can be an imam, which is the son of Imam Hassan Askari salam. Imam Jawad alayhi salam was very young at that time when he became an imam, and he accepted and he proved it, with his knowledge, with his ilm ghaib, so on and so forth, right? So the development of the understanding of Shias had reached to that point in terms of imamat, in terms of their belief system, right? And this was all but nothing but the pains of the imams and the sacrifices of the imams, and how imam trained and taught to the masses, to the people, and how even the 6th imam was under heavy surveillance. Some of the riwayat that we do find from the 6th imam is that, for example, is designated as imam is doing taqiyya at this point. Why? Because there are some jasus, there are some spies. That's why imam mentioned this riwayat in this way, because it was dangerous for the imam, right? So all the time, the taghut, the enemies tried to put off the nur of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but imam tried their highest level and their level best, and they were successful in doing so. Now with all this, imams, then you have the 8th imam, and after that the it's not a good term, but it's usually we use as the nail in the coffin, is the ziyarat al-Jami Kabira, is Imam Hadi alayhi salam. Imagine, haqq is from you, haqq comes from you, haqq goes back to you. Wa arkana li tawheedik, the Ahl Bayt are the rukn of Tawheed. Tawheed is incomplete without Ahl Bayt. That are rukn. In our prayers we have 5 arkan, 5 rukn wajib in our salat. If we don't do one, our salat is batil. Even if I forget, or purposely, obviously. But if I forget, then I remember that, I didn't do, for example, takbiratul ihram or niyat or ruku or sajda, which are the 5 arkan, my namaz is batil. So the rukn tawheed is Ahl Bayt. Wa arkana li tawheed in ziyarat jami'. That's the Imam Hadi alayhi salam. So you could so you could see that how important, the true tawheed which Prophet brought, and it was secured, and it was important for this true tawheed to be protected and secured. Ya ayyuha Rasul balligh ma unzila ilayk. It doesn't matter if there be just Salman, Abu Zar, Ammar, just these 3, 4, it's okay. You have to mention this, that tawheed and that wilayat. And that after that is, you see how each and every imam protected that tawheed, that crystallized pure tawheed, that Islam which is Islam in Nabi Muhammadi, that Islam which Prophet brought. And it reached to a point where it was openly declared by the 10th imam, where he says, Arkan tawheed is Ahl Bayt, haqq is from them, it goes back to them, it comes from them. And the whole ziyarat al-Jami Kabira is one of the most authentic ziyarat that we have, right? One of the most authentic ziyarat, right? I don't want to get into the authenticity, how things are being authentic, apart from the chain. And there is another way of authenticity, is the style, is the matalib, is the meanings that behind that hadith, is there, which is considered as diraye, which is considered as, narrative studies. They do that, right? So the whole text of this ziyarat is so deep, and is so true, based on the true principles of Islam. Now, Imam Hadi alayhi salam, then after that you have, the 11th Imam, which is very, very a period where, they are aware of, after the 11th Imam, the 12th one will be there, and because of the hadith of the Imam was there after me, there will be 12 khulafa or 12 Imams, and from my soul, from my lineage. So and even the Abbasids were crumbling in terms of their power. There were 3 different Khalifas of that time were killed. Even the Khalifa was brought in the courtyard of its own, and he was stripped, and he was killed, and he was buried alive. The Khalifa at that time, by the Turks. But the Turks were the well, the military power, they were, they were taken over. So Imam Hassan Askari was in great surveillance and under heavy pressure, but still he managed to transfer in this 6-year period, in this 27 years of his life, those special gems. One of the great scholars, Ayatollah Bahjat, he says, one of all imams, they have to fulfill their responsibility, their tasks, transfer that knowledge. But for Imam Hassan Askari as-salam, it was a much stronger, perhaps, task, because he's aware there will be a occultation, a huge occultation, and he should make sure that those disciplines, knowledge, science that he has acquired, and all of these imams who have spent and sacrificed their life, this should be transferred. And that should remain till the Hujjat returns back. Right? Yes, there is an element of miracle and mu'jizah, ijaz, all that, yes. Rasulullah the same way. If everything was just a miracle, why Rasulullah would, for example, hide, or he has to run to the mountains when they ran away, when they left him alone, why Rasulullah's life should be protected, for example, if there's some special angel will come and protect. No, there's practicality of things as well, that we have to do, that we have to take care of, right? Imam Hussain, they came, Ja'far-e-Jinni comes and he says, I'm here ready to help you, so that, and they have, this is my army. You just give me a command, I will come and defeat them. Then Imam Hussain says, look through my fingers. He saw, leave aside the jinns, the malaike. If we want, we can. But no, there's a responsibility, right? So therefore here, the 11th Imam had that. He has to plan, he has to think. Now there are two major domains which are very important for us. One is, which we call it, usul ad-din, and the other is a furu ad-din. So the usul must be transferred. What type of usul? The usul which is arkan tawheed type of usul, that understanding, that manaviyat, that ideology, right? That philosophical, mystical, irfani understanding must be transferred. And there is furu, which is som, salat and all. That must be transferred to ahkam. Those rulings must be transferred as well. So when we look at the element of the usul, then you find, for example, there's a dua from the third Imam, which we recite that on the 3rd of Shaban, the dua from the 11th Imam, which we recite on the birth of Imam Hussain alayhi salam. That, Allahumma inni as'aluka bi mawlud hadar yawm or hadar fi rajab, but for the sake of this mawlud, he's talking about the Imam, third Imam, Imam Hussain, whose shahadat was already announced before his birth. This is a very important Shi'i belief that awwalu ma khalaqallahi nuri. The first thing God created is the Muhammadan light. So the first thing God created is the nur of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam. So the announcement of the shahadat of Imam Hussain had already taken place. It is a mawlud, it's a birth of a mawlud, of a personality, of an individual who the malaika cried at his birth. The heaven and earth cried. This is a very spiritual belief that you don't find this in other sects, that this type of belief. To the extent that this dua ends, how does it end? It ends by saying that the Fatrus comes and wipes the wing to the cradle of Hussain. And he was cured. Right? So this is a very powerful belief, which is seen in the dua of the 11th Imam. That even angel, which was basically not allowed to fly, was punished, comes to Imam Hussain alayhi salam, comes to the house of the Prophet to congratulate, and then he comes to the cradle of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, the gahware, and then touches the wings and gets shifa, was cured, right? And then they say that, he was proud of himself. He would say, Man mithli, who is like me? Why? Because I've been cured by the cradle of Hussain. You know, this is a very, intrinsic, mystical Shia understanding and belief that these are Ahl Bayt. Then you find another very powerful, very deep. Just we recited, mashallah, Hadith Kisa, may Allah accept Hadith Kisa of all of us and Molana who recited. Hadith Kisa, which is the foundation of our faith. And when a person, just in the margin, I'll mention this in the Hashia, when a person is pure and sincere to the house of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, right, that person will remain with the Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam. Jabir was a sincere servant of Ahl Bayt. Every time when we recite Hadith Kisa, we say, An Jabir ibn Abdullah. So we remember Jabir. In a time of happiness, Hadith Kisa is recited, or Majlis is recited, or particularly Majlis is Ziyarat Arba'in. Jabir was the one there too. Why? Because they are sincere to the house of Ahl Bayt. And their name remains. Their name remains if they are sincere. Right? So here, Hadith Kisa is one of the main foundations of our faith. They would ask ulama, they have this problem, that problem. What is this? Hadith Kisa. Recite Hadith Kisa 40 days. With niyate, that problem that you are having, recite Hadith Kisa for 40 days will be resolved. Right? It's very powerful dua. It's powerful hadith that needs to be recited. Right? So now you have this Hadith Kisa. When is this Hadith Kisa? Is innama yuridullah, the beginning of all. Because Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam, there is no difference between Quran and Ahl Bayt. They are one. Sometimes when they do action, that becomes the Quran. And sometimes the actions of the Quran is seen in the life of Ahl Bayt alayhimus salam. When Amirul Momineen gives the ring in ruku, then innama waliyukumullah comes. First is the action of Amirul Momineen. And then after that, it's, the ayah is coming. First is the action of given to the people who come, Surah Dahar, the prisoner of war comes, they give away. Foreigner in the land comes, gives away. Miskin gives away. And then after that, Surah Dahar comes. So the actions of Ahl Bayt are seen in the Quran. In the Quran, and that becomes the wahi. That becomes the ayah. And sometimes it's the other way. It's the same. There's no difference between Ahl Bayt and Quran. They are one. So, إِنَّمَا يُرِيدُ اللَّهُ لِيُذْهِبَ عَنْكُمْ الرِّجْسَ أَهْلَ الْبَيْتِ وَيُطَهِّرَكُمْ تَطْهِيرًا. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى محمد. When Siddiqa enters that, this ayah came. So you have this very beginning. What is it pointing out to? It's pointing out to the importance of Siddiqa Kubra. Abiha. Prophet would stand up for her. And this is not the sunnah of the Rasul. It's not like, if it's sunnah, then the fathers, they should stand for the daughter. No. But this is special. When Siddiqa comes, Siddiqa Kubra, Prophet would stand. And Prophet is not like how we are. To our children, we say, oh, you are my mother, you are my father. To small children, we say this, right? But Prophet says to Siddiqa, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. She says, you are Abiha. You are my mother. He says, you are my mother. To Bibi Fatima, he says, you are my mother. Although she is a daughter. Then, what else does the Prophet says? He says, the hadith, which is hadith Qudsi, very important hadith. It says, لَوْلَاكَ لِمَا خَلَقْتُ الْأَفْلَاكَ. If it wasn't for you, Rasulullah, the creation wouldn't have been created. This faqat only for Rasulullah, the whole creation is created. لَوْلَا عَلِي لَمَا خَلَقْتُكَ. If it wasn't for Ali Rasul, you wouldn't have been created. لَوْلَا فَاطِمَةَ لِمَا خَلَقْتُكُمَا. If it wasn't for Fatima, both of them, we wouldn't have been created. Because the baqa is Fatima, is through Fatima. If there was no Hussain, Fatima wouldn't be there. If there was no Fatima, Hussain wouldn't be there. No Hassan, Fatima is there, then there is Hussain. The baqa of Islam is through Fatima. Right? She accepted. There's a riwayat in Kamil al-Ziyarat which says that when Jibreel brought the news that Allah wants to give you a grandson, Allah wants to give a son to Fatima, but this son gonna be shaheed this way. Fatima said, La hajata fi. I don't want this. Which mother wants a child to be killed there? Which mother? Right? Because ana bashrun mithlukum yuha ilay. They have the element of human being, at the same time they have that nurani aspect, both. Otherwise, if they only have nurani, they are not, uswa. They are not example for us, right? They have that aspect. So yeah, she said, no hajj, I don't hajj. Then Rasulullah said, his baqa of Islam is through there. She said, okay, I accept, right? So Fatima accepted. So lawla Fatima lima khalaqtukuma. So what I'm trying to point out to is the importance. Rasul pointed out, Badatu minni Fatima, Ruhi bin bayna jambay. Fatima is the ruh here. Wa nafakhtu fihi min ruhi, Allah says. Who's Fatima? Wa ma adraka ma Fatima. Does anybody know what Fatima is? Nobody can understand what Fatima is. What is the reality of her? Nobody knows Fatima. Fatima tawabiha wa baliha wa baniha wa sirr al-mustawdi fiha. The sir which is in Fatima, we don't know. Right? Ruh bayna jambay is not a joke. That's Fatima. Right? The criteria of understanding haqq and batil is Fatima. That's the criteria of haqq and batil. Yes, we know Rasul also, Amirul Mu'min, but Fatima is the criteria. Where is haqq and batil? She makes it clear. Right? So now you have the beginning narratives in regards to her. Right? Then you do find narrations from the sixth Imam, like for example, Riwayat, and he would cry whenever the name of Fatima was mentioned, and he would recommend the ashab that if you have a child named Fatima, be very kind, so on and so. You have all of that as well, right? And we have Riwayat saying every Imam, when they were leaving this dunya and they were poisoned or even they were attacked by the sword and dying, they just call Ya Fatima, Ya Fatima. They remember Fatima. Then you have the hadith of Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam. Here I will mention, I'm sorry to take too much of your time, because talking about usul ad-din. Because without wilayat wa arkan al-tawhid, he says that, nahnu hujjaj Allah. Imam Hassan Askari said, we are hujjat of Allah on you. What is hujjat? Hujjat, without hujjat, everything will be destroyed. Everything will eat itself. If hujjat of Allah is not on earth, it will eat itself. It will be, there's no purpose. The hujjat must be there from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the 11th Imam says, Nahnu hujjaj Allah. We are your hujjat on this earth. Wa jaddatina Fatima. And our jadda Fatima is hujjat for us. That's Fatima. Now, if you look at the hujjat of not just he's the grandson, he's saying this. No. Hujjat is of an imam. So hujjat imamat is Fatima. First imam, Amirul Momineen. So the hujjat of that imamat of Amirul Momineen is also Fatima. Right? We are talking about the terms and the maqamat. We are not talking about physiological relationships. Yes, she's the grandmother, so she's because of her I'm there, or we are there. No. We are talking, first Imam said, we are hujjat on you. Then he said, Fatima is hujjat on us, on that maqam. Hope you have this hujjat imamat. Then you have hujjat risalat. Abiha. He said, Abiha, she's my mother. So the hujjat risalat wa hujjat imamat is Siddiqa Kubra. Who is saying this? And this is the interpretation, from that hadith, not exactly this, but it's from the 11th Imam. So Imam transferred to the maximum capacity what was required and needed. And many hadiths are there which have those mystical angle, towards this. And that's why, what the hadith which I recited is, Laysat al-ibadah. Ibadat is not really lot of fasting or lot of praying. He's saying that that is also ibadat. But true ibadat is actually tafakkur fi amrillah, to do tafakkur, to contemplate. Because when we will contemplate upon the Shi'i understanding of Usul ad-Din, right, the Tawheed, then there is no U-turn. It's very clear. It's crystal clear in regards to the existence of God, in regards to Tawheed, in regards to Nabuwat, wa Imamat, wa Qiyamat, Adalat. It's very clear. By that's what reflection means, contemplating. The clarity of the Shi'i thought, the clarity of the understanding of the Ma'arif Ilahi, the Ma'arifat of Allah, the Tawheed in the nutshell. Bika araftuka wa anta dallaltani alayh. Allahumma arifni nafsak. Another dua, which is in regards to, the 12th Imam that we recite. I know Allah because you showed yourself to me. In Dua Arafah that Imam Hussain is saying, right? All of these signs, these are all weak signs. How can they show me the existence of Allah? Because Allah, you have showed yourself to me directly. Right? Allahumma arifni nafsak. Oh Allah, make me know yourself. If I don't know you, I will not know Rasul. So therefore, those people who do not know Allah, they doubt Rasul. They don't know Rasul. And Allahumma arifni Rasulak. Oh Allah, make me understand Rasul. If you don't understand Rasul, you will not understand the Imam. And if you don't understand the Imam, dallaltu an dini. You have gone astray in your deen. Right? Ma ataakumur Rasul fakhuzuhu. Ayah Quran. Whatever Rasul gives, you take it. There's no ifs and buts. You just take it. Right? So therefore, Imam Hassan Askari alayhi salam, when it comes to this domain of usul, then you have the other element of ours is furu ad-din, which we call, salat, som, hajj, zakat. Even in there, you would find that, the imams, from the sixth imam, the network of wukala, imam have already started that. They were designating that, if you want to reach us, okay, you reach to Zakaria ibn Razi, for example, or Ibrahim ibn Mohammad Qummi, which are buried in the graveyard of Shaykhain in Qum, right? They are the wukala of the imams. Imam Hassan Askari, he himself asked his wakil to build the Masjid Imam Hassan Askari in Qum. He was a wakil, right? I'm forgetting one of the wakil of the 11th Imam, where he says that you will go, and you will collect, whatever the questions and letters are, and you bring back to me. And then he will write them back. The whole, system of the Imams, they prepared a system by which even if you don't see the Imam, the way we can't see the Imam today, we will be able to perform our ibadat, and also at the same time we will be expanding and increasing in our level of spirituality, in our manaviyat, although we may not see the Imam. They prepared that. They managed to provide that methodology and that system. When it comes to manaviyat, like for example, you have the hadith, very famous, Alamat-e-Mu'min 5. The 5 are the signs of a mu'min. It's from 11th Imam, Hassan Askari. So you can really see that how strong the Shias have become till the time of the 11th Imam, where the Imam is saying that, say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim loudly in your prayer. Show everybody you are a mu'min, don't worry. Right? Do sajda on turba openly. Put the ring in your right hand with the aqiq ring. Because this ring is very symbolic. Somebody in the arbitration, Amr As, Lanatullah, right? Amr As, what did he do? He takes the ring from the right hand. He says, I took Ali from the Khilafat, and he put the ring in the left hand. Right? So ring in the right hand, Hassan Askari is saying. Why right hand? Because it is an indication of wilayat and aqiq, which is the stone which announced the will, accepted the wilayat of Ali ibn Abi Talib first. So by the 11th Imam, that period have become to a point. And what else? Go, Ziyarat Arba'in is a sign of a mu'min. Right? It's one of the signs of a mu'min. Because how difficult it was to go for ziyarat. But Imam is saying, go for Ziyarat Arba'in, so that all momineen gather at that place. So that all momineen, they show that the true unity of, of momineen and Ahl Bayt, as we see today, 20 million people, right? And they think of their affair, how to manage their affair. Hajj, we get 6 million Muslims, they gather, we say, oh, what are these people? They all gather, do nothing. Or, Baba, we should look at ourselves, 20 million people or more gathering. So much of database can be collected. So many things, all, look at it's like free. There's no place where you have this, people who go have free food. Live, nothing, worry nothing about it. Where can you find that? Right? So therefore it's very important that the 11th Imam is pointing out to something, planning for the future. I'm leaving. But the Ziyarat Arba'in is alamat. All mu'min should gather there. Prepare for the reappearance of the 12th Imam. Remind each other. Reflect on these things. Tadabbur, tafakkur, as the Imam is saying. Plan for it. When my son comes, you have to be the supporters and helpers of it. It reached to this point today, that 20 million. It reached to that point. Now, it's not just, yes, we have the element of adad, quantity. Alhamdulillah, quantity-wise, we have increased a lot. But at the same time, we have to work on our quality. The quality needs to come. We have good quantity, alhamdulillah, but the quality needs to come. And the quality is once again through this two methodology which the Imam have given, the usul, our manawiyat, our mystical understanding, that deeper understanding of the nur of Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, and our iman on that, and our attachment and our relationship with the spirituality and manawiyat. That should open our heart and connect us to this nur and light. It is possible, and then through this will increase. We have to try to increase our ma'rifat and understanding. At the same time, Allah does His due as well. The 6th Imam says, Al-ilmu nurun yaghzifu fi qalbi man yasha. Knowledge is light, and Allah will place that light. If I'm sincere, I'm struggling and trying, I may not be able to go to Najaf and Qum to study, but I guarantee you and I promise you, because it is against the adalat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When you open Dua Kumail, when you open Munajat Shabaniya, when you open Dua Abu Hamza Somali, read it. You may not understand Arabic, but the feeling that you will have is the feeling that you are in the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I guarantee you that. Many of our senior members who recite, they cry when they are reciting Joshan and Kabir. Do you know Arabic? No, but tears are flowing. Because that connection have taken place, because of that sincerity, because of that wasila that we have, that takes us there, that shows us that maqam and that reality. Now, finally, very briefly, the furu aspect. Even in the furu aspect, the Imam have already started the system of wukala. And one of the very powerful hadiths that we have from our 11th Imam, Hasan Askari alayhi salam, help me with the salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. In which the Imam says that, help me with another salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Where the Imam says, if you have any affairs in regards to us, ask our wukala. Ask our wukala. I want to bring that, I'm so sorry. Salawat ala Muhammad wa ala Muhammad. Man kana min fuqahai sa'inan li nafsi. From our fuqaha, those who are very vigilant in regards to their nafs. They are very careful. One of the things that the propaganda wants to do is to undermine the spirituality of our fuqaha. There's this book of Allama Hilli, the fatwa of well water becoming pure because of there are roots of water coming in, change after that. Allama Hilli had a well in his house, and some people said the well water becomes pure. He says As he has a well, if he thinks of his well is a big commodity, to have a well in the house, right? So what he did, he went and he closed the well with rocks. He closed it completely. Then he comes and sits and reflects that is it really true that the najasat, the water of well water is pure because there's a stream of water flowing. Right? So the fuqaha, they reflect a lot. That's why you tend to see there's a bit of a difference of opinion in their fatwas because of that precaution, because of that ihtiyat, because of extra conservatism that they adhere to just because they don't want, anything to be, ambiguous in terms of their verdict that they are giving, right? So here, that's why the Imam says in this hadith that man kana, whosoever is from the fuqaha, sa'inan li nafsi, hafizan li dine, the one who protects the deen, mukhalifan ala al-hawa, is against the hawa nafs, they are against our hawa nafs, muti'an li amri, and they are muti, they do ita'at to the command of the Mawla, fal awam inna yuqallidun, and these are the one that you should do, follow them, and this is a very common sense. So they created a network, a methodology by which, the Shias will maintain their manawi aspect, that's why you find, amazing, deeper understanding and mystical understanding of Ahl Bayt, their Nurani aspect, right? Who they are and what they are. And at the same time, you have this practical aspect of it, the outward aspect that needs for a community to be together. And we have seen that. And they managed it. And that is why we find that, at this very young age, the Imam was poisoned at the age of 28, 27, between 27 and 28. And this Sahabi of the Imam, Abu Madian, he goes to Madayan. Imam tells him, go to Madayan, take these letters and these amanat, distribute, and then come back to me. But when you come back, I will not be there. And he says, what about the Imam after you? He says, when you come back, the one who will pray on me, the namaz-e-mayyat, salat, that is the Imam next. Okay, number one. Number two, the one who will tell you without looking at what is in your bag, that has been come to you as a gift. That's another alamat that the Imam says. There were 3 alamats that the Imam have said, that he will do this, right? Then Abu Madian comes back, black flags everywhere, people are crying and mourning for the Imam. And there he comes, and Jafar-e-Kazzab was the uncle of the Imam, right? The brother of the 11th Imam. He comes to lead the prayer. Then a young child comes, 6 years old, 5 years. He pulls the uncle. He says, move, I have to lead the prayer. He realizes, oh, okay, this is the Imam now. Then after a while, people brought some letters and some amanat from Qom. A delegation came from Qom, and they brought it to Jafar-e-Kazzab. And he says, when we used to take these letters to Imam Hassan Askari, he would tell us without looking what is in there. So you tell us what is in there. Then this Jafar-e-Kazzab, he says, how do you want me to know ilm-e-ghaib? Then the Imam comes, and he says, this is from Qom, you bring it here. And it was brought to him. And before even it was opened, Imam says that in this there is sad dinar, 100, which you should spend in this way, and 10 of them is fake ones. It's 110, but 10 of them are the fake ones, without opening. He mentions. And then when Abu Madian opens this, he says, exactly like that. So this is the Imam. So that time when the Imam was departing, at that very young age, they say that when I saw the Imam, the Ashab, the companion says, when I saw the Imam, he has become so pale, so weak, at that age of 27, fragile. And I could see that the effect of poison is affecting him. They have poisoned the Imam. And then as he was there, then this young boy comes in. As the Imam says, bring me some water. And the Ashab says that when the water was given to the Imam, his hand was shaking. And it was so difficult for him to take this water to his mouth. When he took the water to the mouth, I could hear the teeth on the glass and how he was shivering and how he was shaking. And he couldn't even drink water and he left there. And it was this hour that the Imam Hassan Askari places his head in the lap of this young lad, the young Imam, Imam al-Asr alayhi salam. And the soul of Imam leaves the body. Inna lillah wa inna ilayhi raji'un. Every Imam we have seen in the history that they have left this dunya by keeping their head in the lap of their children. Even Imam Rida alayhi salam, Imam Jawad was in Medina, but he came by the ilm of Imamat to Khurasan. Abba Salt was shocked to see that the Imam is coming. So every Imam was consoled, was helped, and was there. The Imam was there, the son was there. But what about tonight is the night of Ziyarat of Abba Abdullah al-Hussain alayhi salam. Hussain in the midst of arrows and swords, and he's on the ground, and there's nobody there to keep his head in his lap. And that is why no wonder when Imam Hussain came to Abul Fazl. Tonight we are doing zikr of Imam Hassan Askari and the zikr of Abul Fazl as well. They say that the Imam Zaman is mawjood when the zikr of Abbas is done, and when the zikr of Hassan Askari is done. He comes for the majlis. He is here. They say Abul Fazl Abbas, when he was on the ground, when Hussain came, he puts the head of Abbas in the lap. Abbas moves the head. He said, Abbas, why? He says, my master, my Mawla, my Agha, I see in few hours you will be on the ground. Who will be there to put the head in the lap? Says Hussain says, my mother will come, Abbas, don't worry. And here Hussain says, oh Abbas, before you leave this world, I have few requests from you. All your life you have called me master. Can you please call me brother once in your life before you leave this dunya? And Abbas also says, oh brother, please, I have some request as well before I leave. Can you remove the arrow that is stuck in my eyes? Because when I came to this dunya, I saw your face first. And when I'm leaving the dunya, I want to see your face last. Then Abul Fazl says, oh master, do not take my body in the tents because I have promised the children that I will bring water. So leave my body in the banks of Euphrates. And here Imam Hussain says that, oh Abbas, can you call me my man? Then here Abbas, the Ravi says that Abul Fazl called brother 3 times, and his ruh leaves his body. And this was the tarbiyat of al-Baneen. And this is how, and the same few hours after Hussain was there in the battlefield, and the arrows and the swords, and they attacked him from all sides. Riwayat of Abu Makhraf is that for 3 hours he was in the bloodbath. Nobody dared near going Hussain. Whenever they used to take a dagger, go near Hussain, Hussain would look at them, their hands will shiver, they will throw the dagger. We will not kill Rasulullah because Hussain looked like Rasulullah. And then finally Shimr moved forward, and then when he wanted to sever the head of Hussain, he saw something. What did he see? He sees that somebody is putting their neck, a lady is putting the neck on the neck of Hussain. It's not allowing. Then Shimr says, Mir Anis in the Noha, in the Marsiya says that I will cut the head of sister and brother together. Then the voice echoed. Mir Anis says, the voice echoed, oh Shimr, you're Nabina. Oh Shimr, you're not seeing. This is not Zainab, but Zahra is here. Allah lanatullah ala qawm al-zalimin. Sayalamu alladhina zalamu ayya munqalibin yanqalib. بفاطمة وأبيها وبعلها وبنيها وسر المستودع فيها بعدد ما أحاط به علمك بمولانا أبا عبد الله الحسين عليه السلام. يا الله 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 يا رحمن يا رحيم يا مقلب القلوب ثبت قلوبنا على دينك يا قاضي الحاجات يا كافي المحمات إنك على كل شيء قدير. Ya Allah, بحق Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad, accept this Qalil ibadat of ours. May Allah, Ya Allah, بحق Muhammad wa Ali Muhammad, he is the reappearance of our 12th Imam. include us as the faithful helpers and companions of the 12th Imam. Ya Allah, bihaqqi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, forgive all of our marhumeen and increase their daraja and mahshur them with Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Ya Allah, bihaqqi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, protect us, save us from the evils and the traps of shaitan, and give us tawfiq to walk on the footsteps of Ahlul Bayt alayhimus salam. Ya Allah, bihaqqi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, give success to all our young ones. Ya Allah, bihaqqi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, give shifa to jumla momineen and mominat who have requested for prayers. Ya Allah, bihaqqi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, protect our elderly ones, give them long life, health and tawfiq. Ya Allah, bihaqqi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, protect the life, honor, dignity of Shi'ayan of Amirul Mumineen alayhi salam. Ya Allah, bihaqqi Muhammad wa ali Muhammad, protect our Maraji Izam, give them tawfiq to create the groundwork for the reappearance of our 12th Imam. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen. Hussain. Ya Hussain. Ya Hussain. Ya Hussain.
खंजर गले पे चलता हुआ सर तका गया, खंजर गले पे चलता हुआ सर तका गया, खंजर गले पे चलता हुआ सर तका गया। सब मिलके सर तका गया। नेज़ा सरे बतूल की, नेज़ा सरे बतूल की चादर तका गया, खंजर गले पे चलता हुआ सर तका गया, खंजर गया। गर्दन पे हाथ रखे हुए रोकती थी माँ, गर्दन पे हाथ रखे हुए रोकती थी माँ, बेटे का खून शिमर के खंजर तक आ गया, खंजर गले पे चलता हुआ सर तक आ गया, खंजर जलते हुए ख़याम में ज़ैनब का हर ख़याल, जलते हुए ख़याम में ज़ैनब का हर ख़याल, एक बार फिर से जलते हुए दर तक आ गया, खंजर गले पे चलता हुआ सर तक आ गया, खंजर ज़ैनब ये रो के कहती थी पहचान ले से, ज़ैनब ये रो के कहती थी पहचान ले से, शीरी तेरा इमाम तेरे घर तक आ गया, खंजर गले पे चलता हुआ सर तक आ गया, खंजर नेज़ा सरे बतूल की, नेज़ा सरे बतूल की चादर तक आ गया, खंजर गले पे चलता हुआ सर तक आ गया, संजय माँ की रिदा से होता हुआ नेज़ा जुल्म का, माँ की रिदा से होता हुआ नेज़ा जुल्म का, मिट्टी में ढूंढता हुआ असगर तक आ गया, खंजर गले पे चढ़ता हुआ सर तक आ गया, खंजर गले पे चढ़ता हुआ। हम शक्ल मुस्तफ़ा के जिगर तक नहीं रुका, हम शक्ल मुस्तफ़ा के जिगर तक नहीं रुका, सकलैन ने सीनाए सरवर तक आ गया, खंजर गले पे चढ़ता हुआ सर तक आ गया, खंजर। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला मोहम्मद व आले मोहम्मद।
अस्सलामु अलैकुम या वारिसात मसिफ़तिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या वारिस नूहिन नबील्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या वारिस इब्राहीम खलीलिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या वारिस मूसा कलीमिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या वारिस ईसा रूहिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या वारिस मुहम्मदिन हबीबिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या वारिस अमीरिल मोमिनीन वलीयिल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या इब्न मुहम्मदिन अल मुस्तफ़ा, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या इब्न अली अल मुर्तज़ा, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या इब्न फ़ातिमा अज़-ज़हरा, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या इब्न खदीजा अल कुबरा, अस्सलामु अलैकुम या सारल्लाह व इब्न सारिही वल वित्र अल मौतूर, अशहदु अन्नका क़द अक़मत अस्सलात व अतैत अज़्ज़कात व अमरत बिल मारूफ व नहैत अनिल मुनकर व अताअत अल्लाह व रसूलहु व अताअतकल यकीन, फ़लानल्लाहु उम्मतन क़तलतका वलानल्लाहु उम्मतन ज़लमतका वलानल्लाहु उम्मतन समियत बिज़ालिका फ़रज़ियत बि, या मौलाय या अबा अब्दिल्लाह अशहदु अन्नका कुन्त नूरन फिल अस्लाबि शामिखा वल अरहामिल मुतहहरा, लम तुनज्जिसकल जाहिलियत बि अंजासिहा वलम तुलबिसका मिन मुदलिहिम सियाबिहा, वअशहदु अन्नका मिन दआइमिद्दीन वअरकानिल मोमिनीन, वअशहदु अन्नका अल इमामुल बर्रुत तक़ियुर रज़ियुज़ ज़कियुल हादियुल महदी, वअशहदु अन्नल अइम्मता मिन वुलदिका कलिमतुत तक़वा व अलामुल हुदा वल उर्वतिल वुस्क़ा वल हुज्जतु अला अहलिद दुनिया, वअशहदुल्लाह व मलाइकतहु व अंबियाहु व रुसुलहु अन्नी बिकुम मोमिनून व बिअयाबिकुम मूक़िनून, बिशराइ दीनी व ख़वातीम अमली व क़ल्बी लिक़ल्बिकुम सिल्मुन व अमरी लिअमरिकुम मुत्तबिऊन, सलवातुल्लाहि अलैकुम व अला अरवाहिकुम व अला अजसादिकुम व अला अजसामिकुम व अला शाहिदिकुम व अला गाइबिकुम व अला ज़ाहिरिकुम व अला बातिनिकुम बिअबी अंत व उम्मी इब्न रसूलल्लाह, अस्सलामु अलैका व अला जद्दिका व अबीक व अला उम्मिका व अखीक व अला जमीइल अंबिया वल मुरसलीन व शुहदा व सिद्दीकीन, खसूसन अबिल फज़्ल अब्बास कमर बनी हाशिम व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकात। अस्सलामु अलैका या मौलाना या गरीबल गुरबा, अस्सलामु अलैका या मुगीस शियत व ज़ुवार फी यौमिल जज़ा, अस्सलामु अलैका या अनीसन नफूस अय्युहल मदफून बिअर्ज़ तूस, या सुल्तानिल अरब वल अजम या अबल हसन अली इब्न मूसा रिज़ा अर्राज़ी बिल क़द्र वल क़ज़ा व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकात। अस्सलामु अलैका या मौलाना या साहिबल अस्र वल अम्रिज़ ज़मान, अल्लमान 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 मिन फितनतिज़ ज़मान, अस्सलामु अलैका या शरीकल कुरान, अस्सलामु अलैका या कामिल कुफ्र व तुग़यान, अस्सलामु अलैका या दाफ़िअ ज़ुल्म वल उद्वान, अज्जलल्लाहु तआला फ़रजक व सहलल्लाहु तआला मख़रजक व जअलना मिन नवानिक व अंसारिक व शियतिक व रहमतुल्लाहि व बरकात। सलावत।
मोमिनीन से गुजारिश है कि लंगर के लिए तशरीफ़ रखें और साथ दो ऐलानात समात फरमाएँ। कल जुम्मा की नमाज 9 इसी इमाम बारगाह दुआ ज़ाहरा में क़िबला जनाब मोहम्मद आसम वलायती साहब की इक़्तिदा में अदा की जाएगी। और आज की इस मजलिस और नज़र न्याज का एहतमाम हमारे मोहतरम जनाब मलिक एजाज़ साहब और उनकी फ़ैमिली की तरफ से है। हम दुआ गो हैं कि अल्लाह पाक उनकी तौफ़ीक़ात में इजाफ़ा फ़रमाए और उनके रिज़्क़ इज़्ज़त और बख्त में इजाफ़ा फ़रमाए। आमीन। बंद कर।